It's a great moment that we have India's president taking a Rafale sortie, but in the process, India managed to put a major Pakistani claim to rest, which it has already done. But if you ever needed more proof, here is India presenting it.
Absolutely right. It's a matter of great pride for not just the Indian Air Force, but all of India, that the supreme commander of the armed forces, that is all the three services, Army, Navy, and Air Force, is so physically fit that she leads from the front. And she's flying one of the most advanced combat aircraft that is existing today, which has about 533 sold all over the world. It's a four and a half generation low observable aircraft. And it is also a strategic message to Pakistan, who's right now into a very complex geopolitical situation with Afghanistan, as well as facing tremendous problems with Baluchistan Liberation Army, Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, Pakistan occupied Kashmir political leaders. So everywhere around, and including in its own home state of Punjab, they are facing problems with Ladakh. So when we are looking at this complex situation that Pakistan itself has got into, and now we find that the president flies this sortie and poses with one of the women pilots who is actually from the second batch of the women pilots, fighter pilots, but is the first one to fly Rafale, like you rightly said. And she's a very accomplished wing commander who's finished her flight instructional school tenure and is therefore the right person to be posing next to her. And it's laid to rest one of the narratives that had been started by Pakistan. The second narrative was of downing 5 to 6 Rafales. And I can assure you, they even gave the tail numbers as BS 021, 022, 027 to a journalist from Western nation. And all these aircraft, you see the tail number you can see on the picture on the tail of the aircraft. There's a tail number like that. Those three numbers that I mentioned to you will be flying in quad when the air forces of USAF, that is United States, then Japan, Australia, and India will be participating in November. So we are going to lay to rest a lot of propaganda and narratives that the Pakistanis have been speaking. But also important and very important is that tomorrow onwards, operational exercise Trishul is commencing. It is a tri-service exercise where the Army, Navy, and Air Force will be participating. And the role of Air Force will start from the Rajasthan sector and extend right up to Sir Creek and Saurashtra coast. The whole aim of the exercise is to prepare for operational situation, and that too when the Air Force provides such air superiority and air dominance, and in that the army and the navy can carry out their operations unhindered, especially the amphibious operations, and that too could take place anywhere from Sir Creek to Karachi or from Karachi into Baluchistan area, which would, after Baluchistan has said that
Okay.
they have become an independent country on 15th May of 2025, and Rafale is going to play a very major role in this exercise for both two roles, that is air superiority, air dominance, as well as deep strikes.
Right, Air Commodore Ashwinder Singh, and in that sense, today's sortie was both symbolic as well as sending an important message to Pakistan and the world at large.
You're absolutely right. The way you said it across puts across the point that the strategic messaging was for three people. One was for Munir and his brigade, that is Malik and Mirza, who have been opening their mouth too wide, along with General Asif Khwaja. Defense Minister Asif Khwaja, who's been saying a lot of things, especially to Baluchis, that we are going to gouge your eyes out. Now, that kind of talk is going to be rest to place that, see, your generals, your leaders don't go and fight from the front. Our president fights from the front and leads from the front and flies a fighter aircraft at the age of 67 years. And it's not easy to fly a fighter aircraft where you're facing G forces. You saw the anti-G suit that she was wearing. And though it can reduce the G forces by 1.5, but she could be exposed when she flies at 15,000 feet or 5 kilometers, and she does some maneuvers like hard turn or some rolls. But this will only be basic maneuvers. They would not be getting. They wouldn't have got into advanced air combat. But still, moment you get airborne, you are facing G forces. You have to be physically fit. And imagine how, if a person is not up to it, can he actually get into the cockpit of a advanced fighter? No.
And in that sense, before we wrap things up, this is a source of inspiration for every Indian watching these images, these visuals and these photographs, isn't it? It's a matter of inspiration that we all have to take about our own health, per se, that when we are 67 years old, we should be able to sit in a Rafale fighter jet because our president can.
Yeah, and I'm feeling jealous. I'm 65 years old, and I would love to sit in the cockpit of a Rafale and fly, like I used to fly the MiG-21s, 23s, 27s, even some bit on Sukhois and Mirages. But I have not flown a Rafale, so I would have loved to fly that. And one thing is very important, being a lady president, she's the first one to fly Rafale, though there have been two presidents earlier who have flown the Sukhoi 30 MK, President Abdul Kalam, as well as President Pratibha Patil.